Uh, just some common points, things I want to point out as you're writing and in college work. Uh, the work should be more formal than it is relaxed when you're doing a paper or a research paper or an essay. So you have a spoken voice and you have a written voice. And while the two are siblings, they should not be identical twins. Meaning your voice is your voice, whether you write it or you speak it, it's going to be you. So it should be recognizable. They should be very similar in relation, but they should not be identical. It is a common habit, and I'm as guilty as anyone else, of writing the way we talk. And so I always I describe it this way. When you speak to someone, it's supposed to be quick, it's supposed to be impactful. You're supposed to make your point, tell your joke, express your thought, and then move on to the next thing. It's quick, it's, for lack of a better term, temporary. The written word is supposed to be impactful, which means it tends to be slower to take in. It's supposed to be a little bit more hard hitting, but it's supposed to be long lasting. That's why the Gettysburg Address still matters if you read it 100 plus years after the fact, or um, a book written by Toni Morrison 40 years ago will still be discussed in colleges 40 years from now. Uh, that type of thing. You get. I won't drag it out. So when you're writing, you want to stay formal. You want it to be quick, to the point, to the facts, or to the element or idea you're trying to express. You want to avoid slang, common terms, uh, idioms, things like "it's raining cats and dogs." Those types of words are good for when you're writing a book, or if you're writing an article that is meant to be informative or entertaining. But for research papers, for essays in college, I hate to say it, they have to be a little drier. Um, Indentations at the beginning of paragraphs, and that's called for under most formatting, especially APA and MLA, which are the two most used in higher ed, and most people are using APA. And so every paragraph should be have an indentation at the beginning of the first sentence. Not block style is cool for. See, I shouldn't say that. It's good for memos, websites, etc., but not for essays and research papers. The unnecessary use of the word that. I would say if you're typing a sentence and you're in the middle of a flow and you type the word that and you finish the sentence, read that sentence and see if I cross the word that out, would my point still be good? Probably 8 out of 10 times it is. And if it is, get rid of the word that. It's a common thing in our culture now. We kind of put that into places where it really does not belong. It's not the world's biggest sin, but it does mess up your voice, and sometimes it dilutes the strength of your writing. And finally, one thing I did notice in several papers, but again, it's the first paper, run on sentences. So if you have a sentence that is 3, 4 lines long, and it's the same sentence, even if it's the same thought, you're better off breaking that thought into 2 or 3 sentences because it makes your writing smoother. Run-on sentences can cloud your meaning and make it hard for your reader to understand exactly what your point is. And of course, the point of writing is to express your point. Uh, I would say when you write something, assume your audience knows little or nothing about what you're writing, and your job is to express that. But you only have their attention for a little while, so you have to write it in a way that they see the point, they see the connecting points, and they move on to the next point. So run-on sentences can be somewhat clumsy and somewhat clunky, and you want to avoid them at all costs. All that being said, this is a very good start to the class. I think I see a group of people who are going to do very well writing at Charter Oak and beyond Charter Oak. And so, if you have any questions about anything I said in this video or any comments on your papers, feel free to send me an email if you want to talk about it. I have office hours Thursday this week. I'm going to have short ones on Friday. Most times, it's going to be Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings. Set up a time and we can talk about it. Other than that, continue the good work in week 2 and posting an announcement just to remind people of deadlines. Thank you.